Last-minute gift ideas.
What movies you should check out in theaters?
Then what do Carrie Underwood, Paul McCartney, and Katie Holmes have in common?
I give up.
They are all fans of the Radio City Rockettes.
Of course.
I'm taking you inside New York's iconic holiday production.
Wait a minute. Didn't you used to be a Rockette?
No. Oh, I retired for a reason. That's the next Insider.
Tonight at 7, only on CBS 2.
Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, when did you purchase the car from him?
February 12th of this year.
What kind of car was it?
A 96 Saturn.
How much did you pay for it?
$900.
Do you have the title?
Yes, I do.
May I see it? Well, this says the registered owner of the car is a George. Is this what Mr. Robinson gave you?
Yes.
At the time of the purchase?
Yes, Your
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're not George?
No, ma'am.
Who is?
Honestly, I have no idea who George is, but I purchased the car from my friend right here, Jesse Altman, and I've never heard of his name before.
Did you register the car? The answer is no. You couldn't register the car because you didn't have a title. And you bought the car and you never registered it.
I had the car for about 2 weeks from the person I bought it from.
Just a second. Just answer my question. Did you ever register it?
No.
So we got a lot of people who couldn't register the car because it was taken from a George. And nobody knows who that is?
No.
Great. You get your money back. Give him back the car in whatever condition it's in. I don't care. Hustle. Hustle bustle. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
What were you throwing the rocks at?
The other side of the road.
Did your sister say anything to you?
She said to stop where you're gonna pop a tire.
Good girl.
Next Judge Judy.
I mean, she bought the car for what it was, as is.
They told me that I couldn't register it.
I mean, I explained to her every little problem.
They said that I don't have proper trail of bill of sales.
I gave her all the bill of sales. You should say something when you get the bill of sales. You shouldn't wait until after.
Filthy, full of illegal substances, and...
That might have just been, there, man. I don't know.
It ran like crap.
It was a junk car at one point. She didn't know that because she didn't look at the Carfax. I've explained to her every little problem with the car, so I'm not in the wrong.
Right now at 5, a heartbreaking visit, the emotional appearance by a murdered officer's family at his memorial.
A holiday storm blows ashore. How long will this Christmas visitor stay?
Now playing on the internet, Sony makes a bold move defying threats by hackers.
And could it be the breakthrough cancer patients have been waiting for? The treatment giving one man's family hope this holiday. Good evening, I'm Weijia Zhang.
And I'm Dick Brennan. Christine Johnson and Maurice Dubois are off tonight. Well, it's not exactly a white Christmas, but the weather is certainly affecting holiday plans. Take a look at the pounding rain one of our crews faced on the New Jersey Turnpike.
And this is not a day anyone wants to be delayed, but wind created some tough travel conditions at our airports.
Let's get right to Elise Finch, who's tracking this storm. And, of course, the question everyone wants to know, Elise, is when's it getting out of here?
Well, it's going to be with us for several more hours, that is for sure. Take a look. Our vortex satellite and radar shows that we do have some heavier rain that's right now pushing through the city and parts of the lower Hudson Valley, but we are going to get a little bit of a break in this storm, a bit of a lull. Don't be surprised, though, or confused thinking it's over. For a couple of hours, most of the rain is going to move offshore. In fact, you can see some of it from the mid-Atlantic is already moving out to sea, and that's taking some of those pockets of moderate and heavy rain with it. The problem is we still have 2 additional areas that we are focused on that are going to bring us additional rain. You can see one out to the west. Now, this is the actual cold front itself. Once this moves through, this is what's going to bring us some showers, even some thunderstorms, and it is the energy from the south that allows that to happen. So what happens is we do have the light rain. We will still see some areas of heavier rain, possibly some thunderstorms before it's all said and done. We turn on the futurecast. We show you what we're talking about, and this is what I'm saying, 9, 10:30, 11 o'clock. We do have just mostly light showers out there, other folks seeing the fog and the drizzle. But as we head into the 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, that's when we're seeing some of that heavier rain with the cold cold front itself coming through. If you are an early riser on Christmas Day, you could still be looking at the rain, especially if you're on Long Island, if you're into Connecticut, and then we start to get some clearing on the backside of that system. That happens a little bit later on Christmas Day. So now through 1 a.m., expect light rain, fog, and drizzle. From 2 a.m. to 7 a.m., heavy rain and thunderstorms, and then 8 a.m. to noon, some lingering showers, windy conditions with some gradual clearing on Christmas Day. I'll have more coming up in just a bit. Weisha?
Elise, thank you. Well, that wet weather already made a mess of the holiday getaway for tens of thousands of air travelers. Wind forced both Newark and JFK airports to close to arriving flights for brief periods throughout the afternoon. All 3 local airports are open right now, but you can expect delays into the evening.
We're just going to try to go with the flow. We've lowered our expectations exponentially.
Yes. You just have to make the best out of a bad situation.
And among the airports hardest hit by the weather-related delays and cancellations today, Chicago's O'Hare, where rain and snow are in the forecast.
New at 5, Sony drops a bombshell today, releasing the interview online after weeks of controversy. CBS 2's Alana Gold shows us how you can watch.
With just a few clicks on the internet, you can go to the YouTube movie section.
You know what's more destructive than a nuclear bomb? Words.
For a screening that's the first of its kind. Sony just released the interview at 1 this afternoon. The company making the stream available to fans online for $5.99, and once you pay, you have 2 days to watch it. A historical move that prompted Seth Rogen, a star of this comedy, to thank Sony on Twitter and telling the audience, you want to watch the interview? You can right now.
The interview tomorrow? Yes. What time?
But many plan to wait and see it on the big screen. We saw them at the ticket window at Cinema Village in Greenwich Village.
I kept seeing the trailer in the theater and I really wanted to see it.
One of roughly a dozen smaller theaters across the tri-state area that will show the interview starting Christmas Day. Tickets are going fast. Some have already sold out.
Crazy busy. The phone has been ringing off the hook. Either people want to buy tickets or want to know if we're showing the movie.
Sony agreed to distribute the controversial film to about 200 smaller theaters across the country.
It's about freedom. It's about somebody had to step up to the plate, and I think the indies are the people to do it.
The studio initially pulled the film over threats of violence from hackers that the FBI linked to the North Korean government. But moviegoers we spoke with have no concerns.
Do you worry at all for your safety going to see this?
I can't live like that. Otherwise, it's not worth living.
We talked to at least a half-dozen local theaters that decided to show this movie. All of them tell us they realize it's a possible risk, but say they're taking steps to make sure everyone's safe.
There will be security, definitely. We've beefed up security.
Well, the first local showing is at midnight. If you want to know what theaters will screen the interview, go to cbsnewyork.com.
The NYPD is not taking any chances. Tonight, more security measures are in place after 2 station houses in Brooklyn received several threats. CBS 2's Tracy Carrasco joins us live from the Fallen Officers Memorial in Bed-Stuy with more. Tracy?
Well, the memorial out here continues to grow with flowers and candles, but it has been an especially heart-wrenching day. As the family of Officer Lou visited the site here for the first time, they brought these 2 flower wreaths out here where he and Officer Ramos died. Bearing 2 flower wreaths, the family of Officer Wenjen Liu visited the Bed-Stuy street where he, along with Officer Rafael Ramos, were murdered. His wife, inconsolable. As family members wiped tears away, her cries, along with those of Lou's mother, echoed through the street. Lou's brothers and sisters in blue saluted his family as they left, their grief shared. But in the wake of Saturday's shooting, protection for those who protect us has been stepped up. Holding massive guns, members of the NYPD stand guard behind barricades at the 79th Police Precinct in Brooklyn. At the nearby 81st Precinct, the same intimidating setup after threats were made against both locations. An FDNY engine company next door even relocated for the day because of these threats, out of an abundance of caution. Police Commissioner Bratton not willing to risk it.
In an exercise of caution that we did raise the security alert level, we will evaluate that in the days ahead and begin to adjust accordingly.
The threat surfaced late Tuesday night when the Sergeants Benevolence Association tweeted that an informant warned them the Baltimore street gang, the Black Guerrilla family, planned to storm both precincts and shoot it out with members of service. The NYPD says threats are taken seriously and investigated immediately. They say they have assessed hundreds of online postings and calls to 911 and 311 that have resulted in about 40 threat investigations. So far, 4 have been arrested. Sal Freary, retired NYPD intelligence, says these threats will only become more common, especially with social media.
And the real problem with all of that free messaging is that the people who are on the fringe, sort of the person that we've seen commit the murders, reads the messaging, sees what people are talking about, internalizes it, and then goes out and acts on it.
In a statement, Mayor de Blasio said cowardly threats of violence against the brave men and women of our police force will not be tolerated. Back out here live. Now, there has been a steady stream of people who have come to pay their respects to the 2 fallen officers, including several police officers. Now, the funeral for Officer Ramos will be held on Saturday. We have just learned that cameras will not be permitted inside, and funeral arrangements for Officer Liu have not yet been made. We're live tonight in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Tracy Carrasco, CBS 2 News.
All right, Tracy, thanks very much. Well, protests turned violent in Missouri last night after a deadly shooting of a black man by a white police officer. Now, the upper left corner of this gas station surveillance video shows the moments before an officer shot and killed Antonio Martin in the town of Berkeley. The St. Louis County Police Chief says the officer was questioning Martin about a theft at a convenience store when the 18-year-old pulled out a gun. Nonetheless, citizens confronted the town's mayor.
Call it what it is. A police officer has killed another young black man.
Truly, you don't believe that every person or every black that's killed is because of a white policeman?
The shooting happened just 2 miles from Ferguson, where Officer Darren Wilson fatally shot Michael Brown in August.
A special procession this morning for a Long Island firefighter who died battling a house fire on Friday. Dozens of emergency vehicles lined Community Drive in Manhasset to honor Joseph Sanford Jr. Fire ladders formed an arch for Sanford's body to pass under the way from North Shore LIJ Hospital, where he died, to the Nassau County Medical Examiner's Office. Sanford was a volunteer for Inwood, but died at a Woodmere house fire. He was 43 years old. Funeral arrangements are still pending. No word tonight on when former President George H.W. Bush might leave a Texas hospital. The 90-year-old arrived at Houston Methodist Hospital by ambulance last night after he experienced shortness of breath. Bush spent nearly 2 months in the same hospital around this time in 2012. Then doctors diagnosed Bush with bronchitis.
Well, Christmas celebrations are underway around the world. In Bethlehem, there was a procession from Jerusalem to the Church of the Nativity. That's the site in the West Bank town where Christians believe Jesus was born. And thousands then attended midnight mass inside the Church of the Nativity. You're looking right now at a live picture from Bethlehem where Christmas is being celebrated with scripture and song. And we're going to take a look at a live picture of the Vatican. At St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, Pope Francis celebrated Mass before tens of thousands of worshipers. In his homily, the pontiff spoke of light shining through darkness and how the world needs tenderness today. And up close and personal with the Pope. At 5:30, an amazing story. We sit down with the New Jersey girl who just met Pope Francis. We're going to find out what she was thinking as her wish came true.
Well, many dashed through the rain today looking for those last-minute gifts, and while waiting this long may not seem something like a wise man or woman would do, it actually paid off. CBS 2's Alex Denis hit the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City.
If you can handle the pressure waiting until the last minute, promises a good payout, and the bargain buyers we spoke to said, oh, they're up for the challenge.
Daryl Spence calls himself a savvy saver.
I'm a last-minute shopper, but I want to get a good deal, so that's why I'm out here today.
And with just minutes left to shop at Newport Center Mall, he's not alone in the hunt.
I got my sister, a shirt from H&M,
And I got my brother Vans sneakers.
With just hours left before the big gift-giving day, you can find 20% off entire purchases. Some stores already offering after Christmas prices now.
Little Ugg boots for like $40 and I got them for $19.
And don't forget about the kiosks.
And then you have the carts in the middle that you can really talk to and negotiate with, and I enjoy negotiating with that.
But not everyone cared about the deep discounts, as Vina thought about saving. Her son had other things on his mind, the weather and Santa.
I hope he comes safely because the rain might blow him away.
A little rain won't stop Santa, and it won't stop the shoppers either.
You have just a few minutes to take advantage of the deals. The Newport Center Mall is open until 6, so we wish you happy shopping. In Jersey City, Alex Denis, CBS 2 News.